this video, I'm gonna see if I can make a convincing Pokemon card from scratch, and I'm gonna send them to a bunch of people and convince them that they're super rare and super valuable. This video is sponsored by Huion. Now, obviously, we can't get started without having some Pokemon trading cards, which I have not got, so I'm gonna go get some. Hey Dave, how you going? Just the thing I'm looking for.
Pokemon cards today. And for you, sir, you want to buy some Warhammer?
I mean, just a little. And some Pokemon cards. All right, I'll see you next time. So it's time to dive into making a believable fake Pokemon card. But before getting started, I wanted to make sure I really understood my parameters creatively for the artwork and the Pokemon types I'm creating. I found it really interesting that the cards had very different aesthetics. And in fact, there were some that were fully 3D rendered and even looked quite plasticky or, fake or not detailed. There were some with a really painterly aesthetic, like they were made traditionally. And then of course, some with a much more anime aesthetic as well. With a wide variety and range of detail, some super detailed and high quality looking, and some far too simple. But that is all good news to me because it meant that I can basically experiment in as many different directions as I want. Now, for those of you who haven't been around this channel for a while, many years ago, I made a Pokemon based on random prompts. Those prompts were flying type, upside down, cute, and what was the other? Oh, purple. So with those 4 prompts, I came up with Switcheroo, a Pokemon that could flip upside down into a bit of a grumpy face, but otherwise his normal state was a bit of a cutesy little happy floaty Pokemon. This I thought was a perfect way to jump into making my first Pokemon. The result is something I feel is really cool. Very playful, has lots of color, but also doesn't lean too heavily on detail or drama, rather creates a really soft, playful, and charming tone that I really want this Pokemon to convey. Now, like I mentioned, this video is proudly sponsored by Huion. The way I can dive into the organic process of creation using my KAMVAS 24 is really just so comfortable and natural and amazing. It has a gorgeous, large 2.5K drawing display, super wide viewing angle, 16.7 million display colors, and it comes with a mount system which you can of course mount to screen monitors or boom arms, and the use of that awesome and organic PW517 pen. The tip doesn't bounce when you use it, and it comes with felt tip options now, so you can create a much more sort of pen on paper drawing experience if that's what you need. Drivers which allow you to customize the pressure sensitivity ratio and the way that that curve reacts to your heavy-handedness, or if you're really light-handed. If you're looking for the height of a professional art experience, the KAMVAS 24 is one I can highly recommend. Check it out with a link in the description, and a huge thank you to Huion for sponsoring this video and making cool artwork and projects like this possible. So I have finished my first artwork. Now I'm going to come back and do more, but before I do, I want to make sure I'm on the right track when it comes to my forgeries, using the right paper and making sure I can get the right look. There are several layers in the makeup of a Pokemon card, and to tell if one's real, if you rip it, you can see that there's a single ink layer. You can actually see that really sharp black line following along the edge of that tear. Both cards is like this flat ink layer. Now, if I'm going to replicate a Pokemon card, I think the biggest thing is that back. How do I do that? We want to make something cool and convincing, which it won't be if you're sifting through your deck and it's pretty obvious which one's fake. But one of the ways in theory we can get it identical is what I did when I was an 11-year-old. Use the back of an actual Pokemon card. This is not a good way to do anything ever. And just make a soaring motion in the direction of your hand. Just as easy as that. What if, what do you reckon, like hot water? You know how you can release stamps? Soak in hot water? So maybe, just maybe, this will do something worthwhile. Oh, there it is. Logan Paul won't know the freaking difference. I asked Rob to help me out by printing up some samples. By the way, I asked him to do like a temporary design, like just do some sort of filler Pokemon card. It's me as a Pokemon. And my ability, summon minion. Rob! Oh my God, that works. So using the paper type we picked, I got printed my switcheroo Pokemon. I'm going to glue my first Pokemon card together after I cut this. Give it a bit of pressure there. Pop it in here. Pop it in there. I'm trying to really tighten this thing. Set aside to dry, but next, we can work on our next designs. I'll do it again. There'll be something among that. The next card I decided to make, I wanted to make a little bit different. Rather than another Pokemon, I thought it would be really fun to draw myself as a Pokemon trainer. I'm living my childhood fantasy here. I actually had tried to customize a Pokemon card or two back when I was like 11 or 12 in a similar way to what I was doing now, except I just glued paper to the top of a Pokemon card and drew on it, and it obviously looked terribly fake. There's something about coming back to this with all of these resources and this team and the technology I have to be able to put to this and actually make it convincing that is really exciting. So who is Jazza the Pokemon trainer? What is my story? Well, I don't know. I can't help but think that he's just gotten a brand new Pokemon gym. The biggest, coolest gym anyone has ever seen. And I think as far as his training or his powers go, or the way he uses Pokemon that sets him apart, I feel like colors and illusions and using creativity and improvisation. I thought it'd be really cool to draw myself with a master ball, because I settle for nothing but the height of the coolest stuff to work with. Obviously, this video is bloody sponsored by Hugh. And you know he's a seasoned Pokemon master because he's got a beard. That's how you know he's leveled up. He's maximum level Jazza. It's like I've evolved. Let me know if it's an evolution or a de-evolution in the comments. With my veteran Pokemon trainer version of myself's art in place with a slightly more accentuated beard than I can actually grow in real life, I painted up a really naturalistic style mural behind me and threw colors around visually to make it really feel like colors and illusion and creativity was the way that I worked with Pokemon and ran my gym. Now, before I leap into making the very final Pokemon card, I needed to see if my method was working. Designing myself as a Pokemon trainer was way too much fun, and I thought it would be fun to invite you guys to join in on the exercise. Here we are throwing in 2 KAMVAS 12 display drawing tablets and 1 KD200 pad tablet, and I'm gonna throw in 3 hand-signed Jazza training cards. To get involved and for your chance to win, design yourself as a Pokemon trainer. You can include your own custom Pokemon or actual Pokemon, but the main thing is actually yourself. Who are you in the Pokemon universe? Get creative and inventive and have some fun, but submit it to Twitter using #PokemonArtTrainer. Get involved, have some fun. I can't wait to see your entries. Otherwise, let's jump back into the video. We need to see if this is their final form. Now that this has had time to dry. Oh my God, I really tightened that on there, didn't I? I don't even know if this will have pushed it to be properly flat. Oh my God! That is a Pokemon card. That's a Pokemon card.
I would have no idea.
That's a Pokemon card. Here, hold them next to each other.
That's great.
Let's go see what the guys think. Hey, quick bit of feedback, guys. How'd I go?
It looks exactly like a Pokemon card. I'm impressed.
Put it upside down.
Did I? Oh no, I did too! Oh, there's an actual right way up. Thank you, good to know. Good, okay. I will take that knowledge with me for future cards. Now that we've pulled off a working prototype, it was time to start a production line ready to make even more Pokemon card forgeries and make them even more convincing. Now I screwed up the first batch because the water I put them in was too hot and I left them unsecured, drying in a food dehydrator, which meant that they warped freely in every direction when dry. So, attempt 2. I soaked a whole bunch of cards in hot but not too hot water to release the front artworks, and then we laser cut card size templates which we used to secure the cards flat when drying, held between these pieces of wood and baking paper cut to size, with the hope that the result would be a little more workable this time. Let's see how this batch turned out. Hopefully better than the last batch. This turned out all right. It's not bad, it's got some little waves, but keep in mind, these have not been compressed. They've just been held in place. They just need to be flat enough that I can cleanly glue the front onto, and then with all of these nicely glued, we can sandwich it between all of these and vise them. And the glue and the time and the pressure will mean we should in theory, end up with a nice flat Pokemon card. So with the plan in place, it was time to make the final Pokemon card. Now, it had to be the ultimate one, and to be honest, I'm not the expert when it comes to Pokemon, but through this whole project, Dave has been. And actually, he happened to design one a couple of weeks earlier with a Discord community. And using a random prompt generator, he got a dragon and fire-type Pokemon, and as you can see, this is what he had put together. A design inspired by, in his words,
A little bit like Rayquaza, but also the dragon from Mulan. Having a proper artist draw it will be really cool to see on the other side.
So now, with an awesome reference to work with, put together by someone who really knows their stuff about Pokemon, it was time to make the ultimate fake Pokemon card. So I had my description, I had my reference sketch, and I had my VMAX card template laid out in front of me, ready to make my ultimate fire dragon type Pokemon card forgery. So let's get stuck into it. So now I had 3, hopefully believable, Pokemon card artworks that I had printed up on the paper that we tested and that worked best, with my blank backs ready to glue them all together, slowly but surely creating layers of adhesion between these wood bits and the baking paper that would separate them but keep them safe so that I could compress them in the vise and, fingers crossed, pull out some flat Pokemon cards. All right, I feel like we're looking pretty good. Just a little bit of touching up and trimming around the edges and going for a real polished effect. And then last but not least, we've got to see if it passes the test of ultimate believability. And after all that, I finally have what I believe are pretty believable Pokemon cards. I think in large part believable because of Dave's help, which is why I'm excited to present him his Pokemon card. Let's see what he thinks.
It's really cool. I like what you've done with my design by making it look good. The backing is just literally a Pokemon card.
It is.
It's legit.
It's legit.
If you want someone to know if this is legit, you can tear it.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. This is awesome.
I want to use your help to see if Jen finds these cards believable. So we've got Twitcheroo, the Pokemon, and Jazza, the trainer, and a Saurash. So if you can help me put together...
Make a pack.
Make a pack.
5 commons, a foil makes 6, a rare makes 7, 8, 9, 10. We got a freshie, can I open that?
Yeah.
Okay, because we need an energy.
Nailed it.
This is the best.
They're actually live streaming right now for the Tabletop Time live stream for patrons. So let's just go tune in and we can watch their reaction on the side camera.
I did get your Pokemon cards.
What the heck?
Is that from Black and White? Because I never played that. It's cute as anything.
Whoa.
V Saurash. That's a pseudo-legendary.
But this again looks...
Check it out.
It's so weird.
It's sick. What one's that? You got a trainer card. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
I thought it was real. That's so cool.
So I think we passed the test here. Let's go see if we can pass the street test. So if you flick through this deck, if you were to pick one and be like, this is the valuable card, which one is it? You reckon it's Saurash? All right, good to know. Thank you so much. Have you ever collected?
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah.
What the hell is Saurash? I'm gonna say Jazza because the trainers are hard to get these days.
Awesome.
Say that one.
Saurash, that's your bet?
Yeah.
The dragon, that's it. Thank you so much. You got that one? Why is that nice and shiny?
Yeah.
What's the most valuable Pokemon card?
Say that one.
Dragon?
Yeah.
Cool, perfect. That's all I need from you guys. Thank you so much. What would get the most money? Shiny one? Awesome. Perfect.
Is this real? Because it seems different.
You all agree?
Yeah.
Do you want to hold that one up and say why?
Because it looks cool.
If you had a look at these Pokemon cards, which you think are the most valuable?
Shiny or the dragon?
Thanks for your feedback.
look familiar.
Hang on a sec. Jeremy!
Jeremy!
Jerry! Get back to the office! I think the next step, now that we've convinced the general public and enthusiasts here in the studio, is to take it a little bit further and see if we can convince the most well-known Pokemon card influencers on YouTube.
2 cards left.
Oh my God!
What the heck? I think I'm dreaming.
No way.
And then, oh, what the no!
That's amazing that they love the cards so much. If you're impressed with my Pokemon card forgeries, make sure to hit that like button, because it wasn't easy. It took a lot of work, a lot of trial and error, and we convinced a lot of people as a result. And of course, make sure to subscribe for more fun with art and creativity of all kinds. That's what we do here, and that is what makes me the master. Pokemon Master!